Billy Ripken is with us here again on Tiki and Tierney. Billy, what's happening, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing well. The Sunday was, a pretty good 3 games. 2 of them were really good. And then, of course, yesterday, the official opening day of baseball. So I think it's exciting to get this thing going, and let's see what this next month or 2 holds for us.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's always going to be a team that we had pegged for 90-something wins that just doesn't quite get there. And conversely, as you know, Billy, just the cyclical nature of the game, there's going to be a team we overlook that is going to be in the middle of things come the middle of the season, the All-Star break. It's just what happens. So let me get this out of the way quick. Big Yankee fan, but obviously realistic. Not a lot of pitching at all, but a lot of young bats that I obviously like. If Tanaka isn't significantly better, the Yankees have 0 shot. I mean, where did you peg the Yankees coming into the season? Because Tanaka had a great spring, but he was bad on Sunday at the Dome. What happened?
Well, I think once again we're going to look at the American League East, and I've made the prediction that at the end of the year, the American League East will have more wins than every other division. I do believe that.
Really?
Now, yeah,
wow.
That's not to say there's a 95-win team in the East, but I think the Yankees, the Orioles, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays.
Okay.
It's one of the strangest divisions out there that I think each one of those 4 can finish first place, and each one of those 4 teams could possibly finish 2, 3, and 4 as well. I don't think Tampa has enough over the long haul to win the division, but I could certainly see some things going well for them where they finish in second place. So they could be either 2, 3, 4, 5, or everybody else in the American League East can be 1, 2, 3, or 4, in my opinion. I think it's really a toss-up, but you're dead on. If Tanaka doesn't pitch right, then the Yankees, I got to remove them out of the 1 spot. Now, I'm not going to go to Panic City on 1 outing on Tanaka because he did have a good spring, and everybody has kind of days like that. But Tanaka has to pitch like a number 1 in order for the Yankees to be able to win it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But the perceived number 1, I think a lot of people coming into the season, because of Porcello, because of Sale, because of David Price, even though we don't really know yet what's happening with that flexor tendon in his pitching arm, were the Red Sox. And now they had to obviously replace Big Papi, and Hanley Ramirez got a hit yesterday. It wasn't Big Papi yesterday, but he got a hit yesterday. How are they lining up in the East to you? Because they feel like the team that we should expect to be winning division.
I would odd-on favorite them to be the one that I would give the most chances to finish in the first spot. I don't think they're going to miss Papi as much as everybody thinks. And I know he threw up ungodly numbers and everything, but those young kids that they have, Benintendi on display yesterday, certainly showed his ability to impact a game. But I think with Bradley and Betts and Bogarts, and who knows, Panda bounces back a little bit, and they get some production there. So I don't think that's going to be the biggest issue. Porcello's going to have another good year, and Price is going to have to come back and pitch. I love the addition of Sale. So if you want me to say an odds-on favorite to win the East, I'm going to go with the Red Sox. But if a few things go wrong for them, I could easily see them sliding down into the 3rd spot. I don't think Baltimore's going away. I think their offense is too good. And who knows about Gausman and Bundy? They might step up to be legitimate 1-2 starters in a rotation. Toronto's got a good rotation, and they still got Thump in the lineup. So this is going to be a division, especially with that unbalanced schedule that they play, where I think they're really going to beat up on each other. And the winner of this division might not make 90 wins. It might be 89 or 88. So the days of seeing 3 teams from the East go into the postseason at the end of the year, they might be gone because I think everybody got a little bit better.
It's funny. Talking to Billy Ripken, MLB Network analyst. Of course, you catch Billy. I see him all the time. MLB Tonight throughout the year. MLB Network, he got 12 live games this week, including the Cubbies and the Cards. They opened up Sunday night. Day off. They're back at it tonight at 8 Eastern on the network here. I'm with you. When you first positioned it in terms of total wins, I'm like, I think I have a polar opposite approach to at least to the American League alignment here. But when you lay it out like that the winner might not even win 90, I'm coming back to where you're coming from. And I would say, Billy, I don't know if you agree with this, from my money, the American League West between the Rangers, the Astros, Seattle, and even the Angels, who aren't ready to win yet, but I think are going to be a lot more competitive than people think, although I do think the A's are terrible. The American League West, to me, is the best division in baseball. Are you with that, or do you think NL West? Which team do you think which is the best division in baseball for you?
Well, I think you might have three of the better teams in the American League in the West. But I still think when you slot Oakland and Anaheim, and I'm not on board with them quite yet ready.
Anaheim, that is.
For
Anaheim.
Yeah, that's
okay.
a shame for Mr. Trout right now. I'm telling you that.
Mm-hmm.
I would think almost everybody in the American League East is going to be better than the Angels and the A's. Now, with your point, it might be a little bit of balance of the upper-end power, where is it possible for three teams in the American League West to possibly get into the postseason? And the answer is yes. But I think if we look back at last year and the year before, and maybe even the year before that, the American League East is either 1 or 2 in win totals every single year. So let's say Boston wins the division in '89. That's not to say that Toronto and Baltimore can't be 88, and the New York Yankees at 87 and Tampa at 84. It could be a year where 5 teams in that division get over 500 because I think they are good, and I think they're deep enough to be able to do that when they play other teams.
Now, the Cubbies, we did our preseason predictions. Obviously, the Cubbies are high. They got so much young talent, so many guys still in control. It feels like the energy is still there, despite losing their home opener, which was on Sunday, not yesterday. Where do you see the Cubs falling after winning the championship last season?
Well, I think they're young enough. I think they're talented enough. I think they have a little bit of brash in them. And they also have the man that's going to bring a petting zoo into the clubhouse every month to not allow them to think about, we did this once and let's just rest on our laurels and go after it. They are very, very good. And I was forced to make the prediction, and it's so hard. It's so hard to name, division winners, let alone go through the postseason like we have to do. But I went deja vu and went boring. And I said the Cubs are going to face the Indians again. And I said it's deja vu because the Cubs are going to win back-to-back after not winning over 100 years.
Come on, Billy. That's chalk, man. You can't go chalk.
Oh, you said the same thing.
I did say the same thing, but hey.
Billy Ripken with us here.
Billy knows what he's talking about. I don't.
He does know what he's talking about. They do a really good job. Let me run this by you here. Now, obviously, certainly in baseball, the last thing you want to do is overreact to opening day. And I remember, Billy, I'm in my high school van going to a conference game. And we have the radio on. My manager's driving. And Tuffy Rhodes, I remember hearing it to this day. Tuffy Rhodes going yard 3 times on opening day. Who was Tuffy Rhodes outside of probably me and you and a few others? Nobody knows and nobody cares. The point is, opening day tends to spit out a couple of heroes, and then, of course, they get back to the mean and they hit 240. Odor is different. And I saw the home runs on your network. I got to tell you, and I agree with your premise entirely, this might be one of the best the best contracts ever. This guy's 23. He's touching 30 jacks this year again. You better believe that. How in the world did he sign a contract for only $8.5 million a year?
Well, when you're young enough and you have the affordability in your contract terms to say, yes, I'll take that security for sure. Because he's going to go through this contract and still not even be 30 years old. So you think he's got a big one at the end of that. But I'm all on board for a guy who says, you know what, I'm comfortable here in Texas. I don't want to go through the headaches of doing that. And I think on the other side of the street, when you sign a kid like that, you're up in the Texas's booth, right? You're in the front office, and you're thinking, you know what, I like this kid. He does some things that might rub some people wrong from time to time, but here's what he doesn't do wrong. He posts every day, and he goes out there and competes. Ask Bautista about that.
Yeah.
And then he goes out there and throws 30 up on the board as a second baseman. Now, the intel that's going on in today's game right now that I don't always buy into, I mean, they destroy Odor for his defensive prowess and the fact that he doesn't walk. Well, if I got a guy that's willing to hit 30 home runs for me, I may bypass the walk standard a little bit.
No doubt.
I do like defense a whole lot. And he turned a double play yesterday, him and Andrus, on a 4.63 that wasn't your typical 4.63 that got him out of an inning, which, by the way, the next inning he came up to home plate and went bridge. I think he's an adequate second baseman. I don't put him up there as gold glove category. But when you hit 33 bombs and you come out on opening day and answer the bell of signing a nice little extension where somebody could go out there and relax, no, he went out there and went bridge 2 more times off a Cy Young Award winner. So I like that kid. I like what he does, and there's no reason for me to think he doesn't hit 30 again.
With you. I'm with you. Billy Ripken, of course, MLB Tonight, MLB Network with us here on Tiki and Tierney. Billy, let me ask you this here. A lot of speculation as to where Bryce Harper's going to wind up. Not a ton of time, but I certainly wanted to get your thoughts on this. 2 more years with the Nats. Does he go to the Yankees? I know his dad's a big Mickey Mantle fan, whatever. Do you think it's more likely for him to leave if he wins a World Series and delivers it to the Nats, and then he can justify it and say, I won, now I can go elsewhere, if he even wants to? Or does he chase the World Series elsewhere, maybe with a team, and by then the Yankees will open up the checkbook again? So what do you think is more likely, or will more define his free agent decision, if that makes sense?
That's the toughest question I think is we could ever get in predictions. He could do the LeBron thing where you win there and then you want to go somewhere else and win.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect the way he goes about his business and what Bryce, I think, really cares about is he wants to be viewed as the best in the game. Now, that's going to be a hard hill to climb when there's a guy out there in California that wins MVPs and finishes second when he doesn't win MVPs every year he's been in the game. So that's the overall best player. But I think in the Bryce Harper camp, he's probably going to look at, if I'm going to be viewed as the best player in the game, I have to be paid more than anybody in the game. Yep. And I think this process, whether he wins or not in Washington, is going to go to the free agent market. There's going to be no extension laid out before that free agency, and he is going to go to the highest bidder. And probably odds-on favorite to do that would be the New York Yankees. So I would suspect when his free agent year comes, he might be in New York.
And that's going to start with a 4 at the minimum, maybe a 5, that check. I hear you. Billy, always good stuff, man. You're really, really good. I like you with Burnsy. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the network. We'll be watching tonight. Cubbies and the Cards, 8 Eastern, of course, Billy on MLB Tonight throughout the year. Thanks, Bill. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, guys. Thank you.